In the quest for clean energy, one California lawmaker fears the U.S. will fall far behind if things don't change soon. I sat down with Representative Scott Peters, who spent more than a decade working as an environmental lawyer. Now, the congressman, whose district includes Coronado, San Marcos, Escondido, and much of San Diego, is using his experience to push for change for all Americans. The race for renewable energy has one towering roadblock.
To deal with climate change, we have to triple the size of the electric grid.
Yes, triple the size over the next 3 decades.
That's 200,000 miles of wires.
Representative Scott Peters says that goal of 200,000 new miles is daunting when you consider this. In the decade from 2010 to 2020, the U.S. built only 18,000 miles of new transmission lines.
This is a break the glass emergency moment, right? If we're talking about climate as an emergency, that is unacceptable. And we've got to do better.
You can hear his passion, and he explains why you should care too. Peters says if we don't expand the grid, we will encounter reliability issues with blackouts and brownouts, and there are other risks.
If things don't change, you might be in a neighborhood that has a lot of particulates and asthma because we're still using dirty energy. If you're concerned about the cost of natural gas, we got hit this year, right?
Sure did.
Wouldn't you like to have alternatives in place?
Peters, who worked as an environmental lawyer for 15 years, is now on a mission to speed up the process of expanding the energy grid.
It takes 10 years to build one transmission line.
10 years because of the litigation?
It's 3 years of construction and 7 years of process.
He places part of the blame on NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, signed into law in 1970, more than 50 years ago.
165 members of Congress weren't even born. I was. It's a very old law.
I want to give you a look at the flow chart for the NEPA process. It starts with identifying a need for action and developing a proposal, and then right here, consideration of any environmental effects and if they are likely to be significant, followed by a number of different paths and scenarios. You don't even have to read them all to see that there are many checks and balances, which Congressman Peters says are needed, but he says the way we get all the way down to the implementation stage right now takes way too long.
We owe NEPA a lot of credit for saving things that are important to us from an environmental perspective. The problem is that it's the most litigated federal environmental statute. The report can take 4 years to consider. When you add on the lawsuits, it's years and years and years of delay.
At the rate we're building transmission lines today, how long will it take to get what we need?
Well, we will lose if we go at this rate. In the last 10 years, North America has built 7 gigawatts of interregional transmission. Say half of that's the United States, so at 4. South America has built 22. Europe has built 44. China has built 260.
So what are you trying to do?
What I would like to do is to come up with a permit system that would let us do these projects without project-by-project litigation. More certainty up front. And we should, by the way, I don't want to reduce environmental review, I just want to get it done more quickly so that construction can occur.
Peters says if not, we will be wasting most of the $360 billion allocated for energy and climate change in the Inflation Reduction Act, which President Biden signed into law last year.
It's not getting the money's there. We got a ton of money there to help build out solar, to help build charging stations for electric cars. What is it? It's the permitting, it's the siting. It's the litigation, it's the arguing. We have to figure out a way to cut that out.
He knows he must have bipartisan support. And what might be surprising is that some environmental groups are skeptical.
People are resistant to change.
Even when they know that something's better, it's a huge risk to do something differently. And we'll work with the environmental groups and the members of the public to make sure that we get something that gets it right. If we don't do these things, in time, we will lose the benefit from a climate perspective and a taxpayer perspective. All this money we've set aside, it would be a tragedy and an outrage.
Bottom line, Peters says more transmission lines will lead to more reliability, a secure grid, and clean and affordable energy. And while lawmakers work to solve and speed up the process, he says the rest of us can help in little ways, even by simply doing your laundry at night. We'll be putting more of my conversation with Representative Peters on our website, cbs8.com.